In this video, I'm going to show you how to assemble this Wild Badger 40-volt battery-powered snowblower. And at the end of the video, I'm going to test it out. This company reached out to me and said, hey, do you want to test out a free snowblower? And I said, sure. So thank you to Wild Badger for sending this to me. And I do have a good test for it because my driveway is about 3,000 square feet. I am probably going to be using this in my backyard to clear a spot to take my dog out and maybe even carry it up on my deck and get all the snow off my deck because this is super lightweight. So I'm pretty pumped about it, but I figured I'd test it out on my driveway. It's 20 inches wide by 10 inches high, and this is pretty much how it comes in the box. The only thing that I'm seeing that I'm not a huge fan of so far is that it has 2 batteries and only a single charger. If I could make a recommendation, I would say have a dual charger so you can just put these both in there and charge them at the same time. But other than that, it looks like a pretty cool little snowblower. So I'll show you how to put it together, and we have a storm on the way, pretty small storm, 3 to 6 inches. But it might be pretty heavy because it might be rain, it might be a mix. So I think it's really gonna put this thing to the test. So stay tuned for that. As a note, if you can't find your bag of hardware, it is probably in the battery compartment. So I'm gonna start by taking out these 4 nuts and bolts right here. Really, it's a plastic wing nut with a washer and a bolt. These are for the handle. We'll start with the handle. We take off this on the ends. And we're just gonna slide this on just like that and line up the holes. As you take this apart, you'll notice that the washer is curved a certain way. That goes on the outside. The bolt goes in like this. Match up the curve, just like that. And here, the wing nut on, just like that. I'm not gonna tighten them too much just yet. In here, match up that curve and put the wing nut on. All right, now I'm gonna take this handle, this is the chute handle, and I'm gonna install that. In that bag, there is a bolt that looks like this with a nut there. So the way this works is down here, you're gonna want to insert that in there and with the handle up like this, not like this. And you can see there's a pin right here, so when you attach this, you won't be able to pull this handle out of that connection right there. So I'm gonna take the washer off of here, put the bolt in like this, put the washer on, and the nut. And that is a 10 millimeter nut, so I'm just gonna tighten that up. Good. Now I take this handle, and I'm gonna take the stuff off of the end here, and do the same thing with this. Just make sure that this goes like that. And there's a clip right here, in fact, that you can use to keep the cable out of the way. Just like that. And we install these the same way. That will also stop that cable from roaming around. I'm going to do the other side. At this point, I can tighten all these up all the way. Now for the chute. Got these 3 screws or bolts, whatever you want to call them. And this piece goes on first. And line up these 3 holes right here, 1, 2, 3. Kind of sits down in there. And then this piece goes on. And you can feel it kind of drop into place. And then we can put these bolts in. These look like they're 10 millimeter as well, but you can also use Phillips. Just gonna hold that down and try and get these started all the way. I'll turn it so you can see. You can sneak the screwdriver in here. I think it's gonna be easier to tighten these with this. Yeah, so it is 10 millimeter. Just get them nice and snug. Okay. And that is it for assembly. Man, this thing is light. This is great. I'm gonna put the batteries in, see if there's a charge on those without charging them. I'm gonna take this plastic off. So when you open this, you'll see it says A, working, and B, storage. So these go in just like this. It only uses one battery at a time. So when this one runs out, you just change this one right here. So I think there's probably, yeah, there's 3 bars on there and 2 bars on this one. So this is kind of a nice safety feature. If you just do this, nothing will happen. So you have to push this button in and then pull this. And it starts right up. That's one thing I love about this. You don't have to fight with a gas engine. It's even got a light. Just so you know, to adjust the chute right here, you push it like this, it'll lock in, and then you squeeze this and move it wherever you want, and it'll lock in this way. Now, we just gotta wait for snow. I'll charge these batteries up, and we'll put it to the test. Well, I was definitely hoping for more snow. This is about 3 inches. I got 2 fully charged batteries. Throw those in here. I'm gonna put a timer on. I'm basically not gonna stop until the batteries run out, and I'll see how long they last. 3,000 square feet. Let's see how much it'll do. Can go fast. They could not really do this stuff at the end of the driveway very easily. Oh, at the end of the battery, 11 minutes and 40 seconds. Let's switch them out. Almost made it. I pretty much did the entire driveway though. So here's my thoughts on this Wild Badger snow thrower or snowblower. This is a pretty cool little machine. For me, it might not work for my driveway. Because I'm in New England, we can get storms anywhere from 12 inches to 24 inches. It just started bogging down at the end of the driveway where the plows come by and pile up the snow. And I know that if we get 2 feet, this isn't going to be realistic for me. But a day after I did this driveway, which, by the way, this did almost 3,000 square feet with about 3 inches of pretty wet snow, we got a storm that brought in about 1 inch. And I used this thing and it worked great. So typically when that happens, I don't fire up my gas-powered snowblower. I will shovel the entire thing, but now I can just use this and save on gas for small storms. So I think if you are in an area where you get a lot of small storms, a couple inches, this would work great. I'm probably gonna use it for my deck, for the backyard, to clear out snow to take my dog out. The cool thing about it is how light it is, so I could use it for a bunch of stuff around the house. So if you bought one of these already and needed to know how to put it together, or if you wanted to see this thing in action, hopefully the video helped you out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.